Alan Davis Insurance Agency, with 30 years commitment to the community, providing quality insurance services. Alan is a business owner and an active farmer, and he knows firsthand the pressures of running your farming operation. Call Alan today and ask about coverage for your farm, your vehicles, your equipment, crops, and more. Call 1-800-686-2148. That's 1-800-686-2148. Automate your existing sliding doors with Propel Automation of Ohio. Automate up to 60-foot twin sliding shed or barn doors with their award-winning patented system. And now Propel Automation of Ohio is part of Ohio Agribility Program, allowing Ohio farmers and farm families who are coping with disabilities or long-term health conditions to automate their doors. For security, safety, convenience, remember Propel Automation of Ohio. Check us out on the web at propelohio.com.
Hello once again, everyone. We're visiting with Stephen Swain. He is the Assistant Technology Specialist with the National Agribility Program. Steve, we've talked a little bit about the Agribility Program in the Buckeye State. As far as what is happening nationwide, I'm sure that this is just the tip of the iceberg.
It is. We have 20 state and regional agribility projects across the nation. I'm associated with the national project who oversees, provides information and training for the state projects. And then states that do not have a project, we get phone calls from farmers there, and we provide information on assistive technology for them also. We provide training, do some regional workshops, virtual trainings, and then we have a national agribility training workshop, which is this year in March in Portland, Maine, where we do some, it'll be 2 days of workshop type sessions, and then we do farm tours to apply some of the things that we've learned in the classroom.
Well, I guess I should tell the viewers that the Agribility Program, for those that have not been fortunate enough to hear some of the interviews that we've had on the air, helps physically impaired farmers stay in business. And that they have enough challenges, and this
Correct.
is just another way to help them stay in business.
Correct. And we've also, in addition to the physical disabilities, with our veterans coming back with some of the mental challenges also, the TBIs and post-traumatic stress. We've been working with a lot of veterans in their operations and working with them because it's a therapy for them. So we try to help them with their challenges also.
Well, since you've added and we've had this opportunity, I'll say it that way, with
Sure.
the veterans coming back, have you found out that that's has been a way to grow the Agribility Program across the country?
It is. Vast majority of, well, we have a volunteer military force, and a lot of them are from National Guards, and again, a majority of them are from rural. So they've been on the farm or know of somebody on the farm, and we've been helping them overcome some of the challenges, physical and mental, and give guidance on the financial side also.
Well, Steve, here in Ohio, various companies are coming on board, acting as partners with some of their products, some of the services that they have to offer. Are you looking for national sponsors or national partners?
Yes, we are. Since we're all the agribility projects are grant funded, and we know how funding has gone through Congress, and we're always looking for support. There's always more to do than what we have time. So we're looking for sponsors to help with different projects.
Now, as an individual, I'm sure that this has to be very, very satisfying to you to see some of the help that the national program does. And you also get a chance to look at some of the state programs and see all the help that they're offering farmers.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Very satisfying. AgriAbility is unique in that each state structures their program with what the state needs. So Ohio has a different program than what Maine does. They're logging and fishing up there. We get into California. You're looking more with migrant farmers, Hispanic, and so they gear their programs to those. And we do a lot of, especially National Training Workshop, we do a lot of sharing on what we're doing, what works, what doesn't work, and take those back with us to apply them to our own state.
Steve, if folks are watching right now and would have some input, some questions, or might want to even get involved with individually or with their companies, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
Okay, couple ways. Number one, we have a toll-free phone line, 1-800-825-4264. That rings to my desk. I'm on campus at Purdue University in West Lafayette, Indiana. The other is through email, agriability@agriability.org.
Steve Swain has been our guest with the National AgriAbility Program. Steve, thanks for being with us.
Thank you very much.
And stay with us more when we continue with In Ohio Country Today.
It's a humble idea. Use a biological process to turn a plant into a power source. From that idea came the first POET refinery. One biorefinery in one town turned into 27 facilities in 27 towns, creating new local jobs, producing hundreds of millions of gallons of ethanol, and providing renewable products around the world. Suddenly, that one little idea seems a whole lot bigger. See the world differently with POET.
The Ohio Soybean Council and the Soybean Checkoff established the Soybean Rewards Program to provide Ohio soybean farmers information, research, and other resources about yields, premium opportunities, new varieties, disease and pest management, conservation best management practices, and much, much more. For more information, check them out on the web at soybeanrewards.org. That's soybeanrewards.org.
Hello once again, everybody. We are at the Ohio Soybean Council on the grounds of the Farm Science Review, and I'm visiting with Barry McGraw. Barry, the last time we talked about some of the innovations that the Soybean Council is working on. We're standing in front of something that has great potential. Can you bring us up to date on increasing the soy in fish food?
Yeah, so Checkoff, they spend a lot of farmers' money to do research, and this is one area. So soybean meal is one of the best alternatives to fish meal because of the high protein. It provides also sustainability and lower cost. So we've been doing a lot of research. One challenge with soybean meal is it has what we'll call bad carbs, oligosaccharides. There's parts of the oligosaccharides that our gut has a hard time digesting. So we've done a lot of research at Battelle, Ohio Soybean Council, to remove those oligosaccharides or those bad carbs. So you can add more soybean meal to your fish diets. So as they pelletize it and make the little pellets to feed the fish, you can put maybe the average right now is about 30% across the board in different species, but we would love to have 50% soybean meal in there. It not only provides a better diet for the fish, but also more sustainability to the farmer producing it. So fish meal prices are really increasing, and so that's creating this gap that's needed by the industry.
Now, where would you find more potential growth, domestically or overseas? Yeah,
I would love to see more growth domestically, and I think it will come. I think a lot of it's the regulation challenges, offshore fish farming, but international is definitely the largest growth area. China, India, Just so much more aquaculture, more even like I think a year and a half ago, more fish is consumed than red meat, worldwide. So you can imagine, and as more demand for fish and people do more fish farming, you need more controlled diets, and that's where soybean meal comes in.
From what I'm hearing, the fine-tuning of getting just the right ratio of the meal, the soy meal in the fish food, that's a critical point.
Yeah, so over the last, I would say 5 to 10 years, there's been a lot of advancements in the fish formulation diet and the research behind it. So it's not as just simple as just replacing fish meal, which it has very good amino fatty acids and health. With soybean meal, you also have to add other additives. And our technology, removing the oligosaccharides, is one more step to allowing soybean meal to be that alternative with kind of a simple drop-in replacement for fish meal.
Now, are all fish, I'm not an expert on fish, but would all kinds of soybean meal be good for all fish?
Yeah, some fish like trout, salmon, the carnivorous fish, they don't accept as much soybean meal because of the carbs, because of the vegetable content. Some fish, largemouth bass, catfish, they do a little bit better with the higher loadings of soybean meal.
Now we're standing in front of, what kind of fish are these?
Yeah, so tilapia, this is a warm water fish. They raise them in Ohio, but it's inside. So they love 85 degrees. That's when they grow the best. So people also use them in ponds. It controls algae. It's a natural way of controlling algae. And then there's feeds. There's a lot of companies domestically that produce soybean meal diets. One that's helped us out this week and got us some feed just as display is Aquatech in South Dakota. So they produce a lot of pond diets, trout diets, bluegill diets, and a lot of those have this high inclusion soy rate.
Well, that's really interesting. If somebody might be watching right now that would have a company that would want to get involved in, what's the best way for them to contact you?
I think the best way is go to the Ohio Soybean Council's webpage. You can find contacts. You can find me, Barry McGraw. Find my email address or phone number, and just send me a note, give me a call.
Very good. We've been visiting with Barry McGraw. Barry, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
And stay with us. Back with more right after this.
Independent country music Hall of Fame artist Richard Lynch has toured the world, performing thousands of concert dates during his nearly 40 years in country music. If you're interested in bringing Richard Lynch and his award-winning band to your venue, fair, festival, or other special event, please contact us at richardlynchband.com. That's our website, richardlynchband.com.
Hello, everyone. This is another Farming Fast Fact. We're visiting with Dr. Dee Jepson of The Ohio State University's Agri-Ability Program. Dr. Jepson, farmers face different kinds of challenges, whether it be the weather or economics, physical limitations, and that's where the Agri-Ability Program comes in. Tell us a little bit about that.
I like to say that the Agri-Ability Program is that workers' comp program for farmers. Whether if you pay into workers' comp, then you have that full service. If you don't, where are you going to go? Where are you going to ask those tough questions? And how are you going to stay farming after you have that limitation? Whether it's from a permanent disability or something short-term like a shoulder surgery. Now you don't have full range of motion of that shoulder. A few hip replacements, knee replacements, chronic arthritis. It seems there's always something as we get older that we're faced with physically. So how can we as a Ohio Agri-Ability Program help you? And sometimes it's just a phone call to our office and we can send you some resources, or we could come out to your farm, visit, look around, ask you those questions. What do you want to be able to do? We have low tech, we have high tech, and we can bring some of those resources or even those ideas to you so that you can either implement them yourself, or if you're looking for assistance and want to go through the full process of, going through the Ohio Opportunities for Disabilities program, state funding, we can go that far with you as well. We feel that we're the farmers' friends to look for those resources and find solutions to keep them engaged and on the farm.
Now, I know more and more companies that have products and services are getting involved. How is best to get in touch with you or the program if those people have questions that they want answered?
You bring up a good point. We will talk with vendors as well because we can't do our job without knowing that vendor list. So whether you're a farmer or a vendor and wants to get involved with AgriBility, I would just recommend them call our phone number, which is 614-292-0622, or go online, Ohio AgriBility at osu.edu.
Automate your existing sliding doors with Propel Automation of Ohio. Automate up to 60-foot twin sliding shed or barn doors with their award-winning patented system. And now Propel Automation of Ohio is part of Ohio AgriBility Program, allowing Ohio farmers and farm families who are coping with disabilities or long-term health conditions to automate their doors. For security, safety, convenience, remember Propel Automation of Ohio. Check us out on the web at propelohio.com.
A strong community contains a lot of moving parts. Good jobs, a healthy economy, and maybe most importantly, pride. At Poet, we are proud to be doing our part, creating new local jobs and spurring economic development while producing products that improve lives around the globe. Together, we're not just working to serve our community, but to change the world. And that's something we can all be proud of. See the world differently with Poet.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of In Ohio Country Today. Joining me now is Jason Greavy, and Jason's a corn specialist with AgriGold here in West Central Ohio. Jason, let's talk about the agronomy aspect of AgriGold and its product and how you go about determining what product to use when and where.
Yeah, sure, Dan. So AgriGold isn't a company that's just devoted to selling you a product. We're a very agronomy-driven company that, once again, I've got the title of a corn specialist, and myself and my counterparts through Ohio kind of pride ourselves in that title of really knowing the ins and outs of product positioning and hybrid placement on the farm. So sitting down with individuals, we like to go through and dive into, on a one-on-one basis into a guy's fertility plans, soil types, organic matter, cation exchange capacity levels, basically anything that can help position our products better on that grower's operation. That's kind of our position as far as a corn specialist goes.
It's all about technology, and of course, AgriGold celebrating 80 years in the business, so they've been able to apply that technology and able to grow with the farmer and also give them the biggest bang for the buck. It's always looking at trying to improve yields, but also improving quality at the same time.
Sure. Yep, no doubt about it. So once again, AgriGold celebrating their 80-year anniversary. Company was founded by Clarence Aiken back in 1936 as the original Aiken Seed Company. In 1979, the actual AgriGold name was transformed and taken into place. So there's been a lot of transition throughout the company, but been a very stable brand, through those 80 years, and look for continued growth throughout the future as we go forward here. So
now, when we talk about the varieties and what you try to do to customize plans for the farmer out there, let's talk about the drought that most of us experience here in Ohio, especially West Central Ohio, and what effect it had on your varieties.
Yeah, sure. So West Central Ohio as a whole was probably one of the hardest hit areas in Ohio as far as drought goes. Obviously, the number one factor was lack of moisture. When you run into, less than an inch of rainfall through the entire month of July, halfway through August, as we're starting to go through pollination and grain fill, that's never really a good thing when determining yield. The other factor that really played a big role that a lot of people didn't think about was just the amount of heat that we had. Not only daytime temperatures, but both nighttime temperatures as well, not letting that plant be able to respire through the night. So, although I've got to say, Dan, for the lack of rain and the heat that we had, pollination was really pretty tremendous this year, given the circumstances that we had. Yields haven't been great, but I would say overall 15 to 20 bushel, probably better than guys expected before they got in this corn crop. So while still maybe a little bit of a disappointment, I guess better than we kind of anticipate, and I think that's kind of attributed to the improvement in genetics that we've seen here over the past 20, 30 years, just as far as how well this crop can handle stress.
And a lot of it too is experience. I mean, 80 years of research and development and technology behind a product like this has really got to bode well for the stability of the product.
That stability is really what I like to see in a corn lineup. So many times we'll see a new hybrid come out that is promoted to be very, very solid, and guys get it on their farm, and something happens, or it fails and is out of a company's lineup the next year. With AgriGold, that's the one thing that we really see is that stability that we bring to the farm.
What are you looking forward to in the upcoming years?
Yeah, so going forward here, like I alluded to, a lot of consistency in our product lineup, but we are bringing some new products to the line just to test the waters into, to see if we can find continued improvements genetically to our current lineup. From a trait platform standpoint, introducing a couple new drought guard products into the product lineup, to go along with that technology as well. We've got a lot of growers out there that are still planting conventional hybrids, and AgriGold's got one of the larger conventional product lineups in the industry today. So,
Jason, we're out in the cornfield here in beautiful Shelby County, and this particular brand of AgriGold seed is one of your favorites. Let's talk about this particular variety and why it's your favorite, and the quality and what you're getting out of it here in Shelby County.
Yeah, sure. So 6559, probably one of my token go-to hybrids as far as the AgriGold platform. What I like is kind of what I alluded to earlier. It brings a lot of stability to the table. When I look at this product the last 2 or 3 years, it's just been a very stable, consistent product across all soil types.
Jason, before we let you go, I really want to talk about that relationship with the farmer. I mean, growing up on the farm and having that agricultural background and having that relationship with your customers is really important to you, isn't it?
Oh, no doubt about it. The biggest priority for us is to have that one-on-one relationship with the customer. We like that direct model as far as working one-on-one with the individual, forming that relationship, really getting to know the ins and outs of their operation and their family. After all, agriculture is a very family-driven business, and that's kind of what we strive to accomplish at AgriGold too. Is having that AgriGold family be part of that operations family as well.
And the AgriGold family is all about the AgriGold brand, and that logo is so recognizable. For many, many years, I've always said you could just recognize that logo without even looking at the name, and I think that's something that AgriGold prides itself in, is the consistency with those farmers. Not just the relationship, but they come back year after year after year.
Oh, no doubt about it. Our customer retention, our loyalty has been absolutely outstanding, and we pride ourselves on that, on once again having that personal relationship and that loyalty with that grower.
When you're in the business for 80 years, again, based on that research and development, great relationships with a farmer, you're going to have that kind of quality company that you can get behind and know that it's going to work for you on your farm. Your website is fantastic. There's a lot of good information. So let's talk about where our farmers can go to your website and get more information about this great company and this great product.
Sure. If you go to www.agrigold.com, you can find more information on products, a little bit more about the history, along with, our new introduction, which is our soybeans in the portfolio as well, and learn a little bit more about, that moving in that soybean market as well. So, go on the website, Dan. That'll give you more information on how to research about AgriGold products.
Jason Greavy has been our guest. Jason, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thank you.
Hello once again, everyone. From the Farm Science Review, this is another Farming Fast Fact. Alan Davis, we're here and we're learning a lot about ethanol, and we've been promoters of ethanol for a long time, also with Poet being one of our sponsors, and so excited to understand about their increase in their operation coming down the road. This is a great time to be involved with ethanol.
That's right. It's a very exciting time to be involved in corn and ethanol production. Poet doubling the size of their plant, of course we have 7 ethanol plants right here in Ohio, and if you look at the map, they're convenient. They're right within corn country, and it's a great thing, because not only are we using that ethanol here, it's 10% blended in gasoline. We have 3 or 4 refineries right here in Ohio where that gets blended, but we're also talking about value added, exporting ethanol and creating jobs here in Ohio. And I think, this is a win-win for agriculture and for everybody else. And so, I'm really excited about the opportunity with ethanol.
Alan, we work with Dan Wilson. Dan Wilson is a very strong supporter of ethanol. In fact, I was with him one time, and I said, Dan, where are we going? And I kept looking at the gas gauge, and it was going down past empty, below empty. And he says, well, there's an E85 pump I'm driving to, and I didn't think we were going to make it, but we got there. And when we got there, Dan had to take a picture because the price of ethanol on that day was $1 cheaper than regular gasoline.
That's right. If you have a vehicle to run on E85, with the improved infrastructure we have for distribution now, there's a lot more pumps available. You need to check it out. As a matter of fact, Brad told me this morning, he said he filled up with ethanol and it was $1.47 and regular gasoline was $2.17. It's a good deal. And that supports jobs and Ohio agriculture.
And there are all kinds of farming facts like that, and we're finding out a lot here at Farm Science Review. And along with Alan Davis, I'm Gary Jackson, and this has been another Farming Fast Fact.
Alan Davis Insurance Agency, with 30 years commitment to the community, providing quality insurance services. Alan is a business owner and an active farmer, and he knows firsthand the pressures of running your farming operation. Call Alan today and ask about coverage for your farm, your vehicles, your equipment, crops, and more. Call 1-800-686-2148. That's 1-800-686-2148. Independent Country Music Hall of Fame artist Richard Lynch has toured the world, performing thousands of concert dates during his nearly 40 years in country music. If you're interested in bringing Richard Lynch and his award-winning band to your venue, fair, festival, or other special event, please contact us at richardlynchband.com. That's our website, richardlynchband.com.
Hey, that's going to do it for this week's edition of In Ohio Country Today. For more information, check us out on the web at inohiocountry.com. That's inohiocountry.com. Have a good day, everybody.